Hello! You've probably seen how cool car chases can be in movies, but did you know that in real life they can be even more epic? All thanks to the amazing devices used by the police. Get ready to see incredible ways to stop suspects. Let's go. If you don't see any obstacle ahead on an empty road, that means the passage is clear, right? Violators think so too, but this case comes to the aid of law enforcement officers, just like something out of a spy movie. When a criminal tries to hide from the police, he can easily turn off the road if he suddenly sees a patrol on his way. But if you apply this system, the criminal will stop much earlier than he has time to realize that he has been caught. This small suitcase is activated using a remote control, which will work even if you are 30 meters from the device. One press of a button and it happens. It is unlikely that after this you can drive far on punctured tires, and after a couple of seconds, the spikes will remove themselves from the road and clear passage for the patrol car. The inventor literally thought through every detail. During a chase, the criminal always considers himself the hero of some cool movie, and thinks that he is smarter than the police. Therefore, it is especially funny to watch how violators fall into very banal traps. And here is an exemplary example. If you see a grid on the road, you may not even suspect something is wrong. Well, how can a grid stop a car? That's how. When a car runs over such an inconspicuous device, the spikes hidden in the mesh cling to the tires and pull the material along with them. The net wraps around the wheel, stopping the car completely. All this happens in a matter of seconds. And no, the mesh will not break. The threads are so strong that they can stop a car weighing up to 10 tons. It's no surprise that it is used by security services around the world. Sometimes the chase takes place in conditions where the police have only one car, and there is absolutely no way to get help from other patrol officers. In this case, no one can set traps, but there is an effective way to hook the suspect. Literally, the creators of this invention with the biting name Hook say that while watching chase scenes in movies, they thought a lot about the fact that the main problem is not to catch up with the criminal, but to stop him. So the guys came up with a modification that can be installed on any car. The system is equipped with two large hooks that hook onto the vehicle in front and hold it in place. The most interesting thing is that with such a device you can not just stop the chase, but also to prevent it. A police officer can intercept a vehicle before the suspect decides to go on the run. Surely even the most reckless guys will not dare to race with the police when a trailer in the form of a patrol car is attached to their car. Igor Nigoda. To be continued. Imagine trying to run away, but suddenly you feel stiffness in your legs and realize that you cannot take a single step forward. Sounds like an exact nightmare, right? And for those who tried to escape from the police after using such a device, it was a very real feeling. The small device contains a wire made of durable fiber. After pressing the button, the wire jumps out of the cassette at high speed and wraps around the target in almost a second. Everything really happens so quickly that you might not even notice. Despite the fact that the wire is pulled in quite tightly, the device is still much more humane than the alternatives in the form of a stun gun or pepper spray. So the bad guys shouldn't get angry. If such a thing was used against them, it was still a good cop. If you ever see a police car with a fancy bumper, chances are that bumper is actually a cool trespassing device. It works almost unnoticeably. A police officer approaches the vehicle from behind with an open device on which a cable is stretched. When the cable catches on the wheel, it immediately unwinds and wraps around the spinning wheel, stopping the car. In this case, the driver may not even feel the threat until he comes to a complete stop. It's a pretty simple capture system, but it always works. With the help of this device, police officers around the world have already detained more than 600 suspects. A small metal box on the edge of the road is unlikely to arouse suspicion in a guy who has sped up to escape pursuit. Well, this is for the best because thanks to such a box, he will most likely be stopped. As soon as the policeman in the shelter presses a button, a mechanism with spikes comes out of the box in a couple of seconds, which falls directly under the tires of the offender. Even if the driver brakes, the car will still have time to drive onto the razor strip. And then the tires are finished. You don't even have to try to drive further with such and such wheels. Less than a minute and the chase is over. But somewhere, police still set this trap manually. This is a very dangerous job. And the chance of failure is much higher than with a modern device. In a normal situation, anyone would guess to go around a pole, but in a situation where this pole suddenly appears out of the road in your path, there is practically no chance of avoiding a collision. These pillars are a new take on road blocking. Installing one requires only an hour of time, and a small hole only 25 centimeters deep. Although he looks completely harmless, this little guy can easily stop vehicles weighing 7.5 tons. Watch him take down a big truck. It is unlikely that even the Transformers would have managed to escape unscathed after such a collision. This large titanium called Rook, although it looks like a mini tractor or bulldozer, is several times more powerful. This powerful thing moves on tracks so it can go anywhere. But the most interesting thing is the additional devices installed in front. This is an amazing system that can easily open any door, even a locked one. Rook always wins the game of hide and seek with criminals, so there is no point in trying to hide. To be continued. Subtitles made by Dima Torzak. It is possible to stop an offender by approaching his car and pressing one button. If a policeman has such a simple mechanism installed on his bumper, the tube contains a pin with several spikes. It instantly moves out at an angle and falls directly under the criminal's wheel. Naturally, no tire can withstand the prick of several needles, which were designed specifically to ensure a gradual deflation of the tire. The device is, of course, cool, but the policeman's driving skills also play an important role here. I'm sure the creators of this device knew that real pros would use it. Well, what can some kind of net do against a truck at high speed, you decide? If you were in the place of the criminal, you would also fall into this trap. Such a seemingly unreliable mesh can stop a car weighing more than 6 tons moving at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. Depending on how the car is driven, it can be either gentle or very destructive. So it's better not to take risks and reduce speed. Better yet, stop altogether. A device that looks more like some kind of secret agent gadget from an action movie. This mini tracker is attached to a vehicle by firing from a special device on the police car. Once the tracker gets on the criminal's car, it will no longer be possible to escape. He may even think that he has escaped the chase, but this small and very smart device will show the car's location, trajectory, and route taken in real time. I bet many criminals don't even know that this little spy is sitting on their car right now. The chase happens not only on the road, but also on the water. For such cases, inventors had to come up with something special. Like this launcher that fires a net. The shot can be fired manually or remotely from an autonomous vessel. Then the network will do all the work. It will wrap around the propeller of the boat motor and smoothly stop its movement. After this, it will be possible to swim only with the current and with oars, but the Coast Guard will still have time to detain the violators. And so you go forward, you go back. This is not a fence or a wall, but part of an armored vehicle that is designed for crowd control. The machine is controlled remotely using a special remote control. It has cameras that help police officers monitor the situation from a distance. Once they decide to intervene and hold back the crowd or push it back, a few button presses can deploy a large metal design. With the help of such a device, you can easily control the movement of the crowd. If it is still possible to break through the chain of police officers, then in the battle with this Titan, people will definitely not be able to win. There are also situations when, during a chase, the police do not have any of the fancy technical gadgets. At such a moment, the techniques that they were told about during training come to the rescue. Let's go to. Every graduate of the police academy knows this maneuver for sure. The main thing in pursuit tactics is to force the offender's car to turn sharply to the side. To do this, you need to approach the car, touch it, and sharply turn the steering wheel in its direction. This is a rather complicated technique. After all, if you do it along the wrong trajectory, the policeman may get hurt or miss the criminal. But if everything is done as needed, the intruder's car will skid and stop, and you can immediately begin arresting. You know, as they say, everything new is well forgotten old. That's what happened here too. Hedgehogs have been used for quite some time to block roads, most often at military installations. They come in a variety of sizes, even to sizes that can be easily installed by a single person. They can be connected with a special mount so that they capture the transport or left separately. In any case, neither a car nor even a tank will be able to get past these prickly guards. There are many devices that can stop cars. But what to do when it comes to a large car? For example, a multi-ton truck. This convenient barrier was created especially for such cases. It weighs only 24 kilograms and is easy to install. Even one person can handle it. And due to the fact that the system consists of modules, it is possible to block several lanes of the road at once. The car will run over the structure, and at first the criminal may even think that he managed to escape. Naive. This barrier is designed in such a way that once under the car, it blocks further movement. So no bad guy can escape the police. There is a contactless system that can not only stop any type of transport, but also make the criminal believe that the policeman has some kind of supernatural powers. Special technology can disable the electronics of cars, motorcycles, helicopters, and boats, deactivating the vehicle and bringing it to a safe stop. Just imagine the face of the guy who decided that he had almost lost the chase, when suddenly his car simply stops and refuses to go further. Now only on foot. During the chase, the criminal breaks all the rules. And may decide to drive over a speed bump at high speed. But if the traffic limiter comes with such a surprise, you won't be able to go far. Just look how easily the retractable studs deal with the tires. like puncturing a balloon. No wonder they are called tire killers.